This is cool story, bro.
Pretend like I'm worth anything that I say right now, which is going to be 90% bullshit.
It's okay, man. I mean, we good? Welcome back to another episode of Cool Story, bro. Today we have... I mean, most of you will not know who she is yet.
Oh no!
Yet. But they are actually... so, funny story how I came across Abigail. So, our guest today is Abigail Goh from...
Hi, where am I supposed to be looking at?
This one. Yeah, so she is a... So, initially how I got to know her was I posted on Instagram. I asked people if they know any cool females. So, Jeffrey, shout out Jeffrey Wong.
Fuck you, Jeff.
He basically he introduced me to Abigail and told me that she does cool stuff like she cosplays, you know. And because I was actually looking for someone who is in tune with the
times,
with the weep scene, you know, so we can talk about the weep stuff that happened last year, like Comic Festa, like all this stuff like that.
Sure.
And then he introduced me to her. So as I got turned to speak to her, I found out that she does content on YouTube. So they have a channel called Joypatrick. So we're going to get to that later. As of now, for those who don't know who you are, please introduce yourself.
Oh, that's a loaded question. I'm terrible at these things.
I mean, just introduce yourself first. That's the first question.
Hi, I'm Abigail Goh. Let's see. I think in the mornings, I'm a strategist at an agency. And when I'm not doing that, my full-time job, I am a content creator, cosplayer, hobbyist. God, what else do I do? There's a lot. I draw shit. I make shit, and whatever I do, it just adds up to something that's just not completely nonsense.
Right.
And we'll get into that as this interview goes on.
Right. So I'm just gonna get this question out of the way first.
Okay.
So did you go to Comic Festa last year?
Yeah, of course I did.
Yeah. So who do you go as?
I cosplayed Shinobu Kocho from Demon Slayer, and then I cosplayed Leo Fotia, who is a character from Premiere.
From where?
Premiere. Cool. It's a film that hasn't come out yet, but it has already come out, but I don't think it'll come out in Malaysia. It's by Studio Trigger, so by the guys that did Kill la Kill, the director that did Tengen Toppa Gurren and Lagann. I
mean, I'm pretty sure those who are listening probably would not know what she's talking about.
Absolutely not.
Because masters don't really give a shit about anime. I mean, they give a shit about the mainstream anime, you know, like Naruto and shit like that. But
which are all good.
Yeah, I mean, they're good. So I went to Comic Festa. Mm-hmm. So it was my first one.
How was it?
It's pretty crazy though. It's huge.
Yeah, because it's filled with a fuck ton of people.
No,
right?
Initially I was a bit disappointed because as I walked in,
right,
there was like basically like Unify and all these other guys there. So I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, what the fuck? Like, do you guys just sell out and like just end up being like a... You
were the main exhibitor as well.
Yeah, because you got to get through the back. So I didn't know there was there's a deeper tunnel in there where you can get to another hall. So as I walked in, I was going to leave. And then after that, someone's like, oh no, there's like more in there. So I was like,
Thank God.
Shit. Yeah, so I walked in. Then that's where you see like the
artist alley, the exhibitor's booth and everything. Yeah.
That makes more sense to me. Yeah. I was a bit shocked. Initially, I was like, oh shit, did they sell out so hard that there's nothing?
Well, they do need sponsors. They need sponsors and money and stuff like that. Yeah, you should have gone up to the second floor where you could actually see the stage.
Wait, there's a second floor?
Yeah, there is a second floor. So that's where they hold major panels. So for major panels, they also have like concerts and they have different exposés on different artists.
They clearly didn't have any like signs telling you where to go.
You should have just gone again.
No, because when I got there was nothing indicating where was anything. They were just like, oh, this is the entrance. Okay. And then there's that one exit there. So
oh no, you didn't get the pamphlet and the goodie bag or whatever?
There's a goodie bag?
Yeah, there is.
There's only when I walked in, the first person I saw was this dude, or I think it was a dude that's giving out free hugs. And if you hug him, he gives you candy. Yeah, that's the only thing like
that sounds so concerning, but it's not unknown to the con scene. Yeah, but there are many people like that. Yeah.
But it's pretty cool. I mean, it's nice to see, you know, everyone, you know, getting out their homes and putting on crazy costumes. Yeah, it's a lot of effort.
That's true.
It's pretty crazy. I mean, I don't think I'll ever cosplay, but if I do cosplay, I'll probably go with something really simple though.
Like who would you cosplay?
Probably not who. Probably what will I cosplay as? Probably just put like a signboard of myself in.
Why would you put it? No, you got to be a character. Who would you be? You said Naruto. So is there a character from Naruto?
No, man. A trash bin, maybe? This is where all your dreams go to.
Wow, that's really fucking sad.
I mean, you got to be dark somewhat, right? I mean, everybody can't be like...
Well, that's true.
You gotta be original somewhat. You can't just go as like... Because you're going to see hundreds of Narutos and like Sasukes and shit like that. Right?
True, but there are other characters all over that you could cosplay.
What was the most cosplayed costume during that time at Comic Festa?
Demon Slayer for sure. There's a bunch of
that's true.
Tanjiros and a bunch of because it's the newest one in.
Yeah.
And then there's I can't pronounce it right, and I think if anybody that knows this series will scold me for butchering the name, but Modao. It's like it's a Chinese novel, it's a Chinese IP, but a lot of people were cosplaying that as well.
A lot of dudes are cosplaying as females too, as I realized.
There's always been a lot of that. So there's a lot of like cross-players. There's been a lot of cross-playing. There's a lot of gender bending and just everything under the sun. Because I think when it comes to cosplay, like gender is really performative. So people kind of like, you have girls dressing up as guys dressing up as girls, and people who aren't on the gender binary just cosplaying whatever the hell they want to cosplay.
So it's a good thing though, actually.
So hey, you can't avoid the question: who would you cosplay? Come on.
Like off the top of my head. Because I don't look that good, and most of the anime characters that I like.
I think you could.
I don't know, man.
I'd help you out, dude. Bro, I got you covered.
I don't know, man. Who do you think I look like? Like, you know.
You should did us cosplay Uzui from Demon Slayer, the Pillar of Sound. The one that's really loud and has like 3 wives.
Wow. So you're trying to say like...
You're straight up pimping him.
The fuck, dude? Don't spoil my market, man. Fuck. This is why I have trouble looking for a girlfriend, because everybody thinks I'm a fuck boy, man. You gotta like stop that mentality, dude. I'm a nice guy. Just saying, guys.
Yeah, I mean,
I would love to try and cosplay. Like probably this year, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be fun.
All right, so everybody who's watching this right now, you'll see it. Sometime in December, Mass is gonna release a video.
So,
Yim's gonna cosplay.
So it's every December, every year.
It's every December, every end of the year.
Right.
That is the biggest convention that we have in the country.
Yep.
And then somewhere around the quote unquote summer months, that's where Animangaki, which is ran by, it's just ran by Animangaki themselves.
But they're not run by Comic Festa, right?
No, they're not. They're a separate convention entirely.
Like Comic Festa sells tickets there as well. That's what I remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can find different like conventions and stuff, selling booths and tickets and just other items at other conventions. There is competition because, like, fun fact, way back like a couple of years ago, I was running my own convention as well, called Visual Arts Expo, and we were partners with like Animangaki, and we had close ties with Comic Fiesta, and people would sell tickets back and forth at our conventions as well.
So what happened to Visual Arts Expo?
Ooh, okay, that's a really tough question. But we decided not to continue because we wanted to rehash a lot of the stuff that we were doing. So creatively, financially, there were a lot of things that we just wanted to take a step back and kind of like review and think about those things and figure out like what's going to work with the masses, or what's going to work with the general public that are really interested in our stuff, and how do we grow it from a small convention that was going upwards to like 2,000 to almost 3,000 people and make it, at least a really sizable convention.
Where was the last event held at?
We held it at Shah Alam Convention Center, and it was there for 2017 and 2018.
Right.
Yeah.
How's it?
It was actually good. It was a really good turnout. And I would say Visual Arts Expo is a little different from Animangaki and from Comic Fiesta.
Yep.
We don't focus too much on the cosplay. We do focus a lot more on the creativity of the scene.
Right.
So when it comes to the industry, we focus a lot on bringing major industry heads. So we've got close ties to my favorite studio, Studio Trigger. Close ties to Studio Orange. So Trigger did Kill la Kill, Penny and
so
Penny
Visual
Stuff and
Arts
stuff.
Expo is somewhat like a cosplay con, or
It's not so much a cosplay con as it's a mixture. It's a little bit of an industry convention as well.
Right.
So we primarily focus on bringing, or we had focused on bringing, all these major industry players to talk to fans, so that fans that aspire to go and work in animation would have at least a direct reference and would be able to communicate with these people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting. So when is the next one gonna happen?
I don't know. We're gonna talk, like me and the guys are gonna have to talk about it for a little while longer, and we'll see what happens then.
So this is done by you and a couple other people?
Yes. So I decided to jump on by the 3rd year. So it's been running for 4 years, and I was on for the last 2.
Yep.
But it was being run by both of my friends, Fazri Nuha, Christopher Lau, and Sean Lopez. So the 3 of them kind of came together, and nobody might probably know them in this scene, but I think in the anime scene, they've been around for a while.
Right.
Yeah, so they kind of came together and made a convention. And I thought it was cool, and I was like, yeah, I want to get in on that. And that's kind of how it happened.
So it's a passion project turned into like a...
Yeah, it was, for them, and I guess for me when I jumped on, Visual Arts Expo became a real labor of love.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's cool.
Thank you.
Right. So, Joypatrick.
Okay.
Right, so I looked up on your stuff on YouTube.
Oh shit.
It's pretty good stuff, man. Like honestly,
Really?
Yeah. Honestly, there's a lot of potential. I see a lot of potential in it.
Thank you.
I mean, you guys are doing a good job. Shout out Nabil. Not
Who's
Nabil.
like,
no. Not, like
Right there in the corner.
yeah. Like shout out Nabil. Good job. I mean, when she told me your age, I was quite shocked. Like I didn't know you were that young. Yeah, I thought you guys were at least like mid-20s or I didn't know you guys were still in school. But it's good, man. Start early, start young. You should just keep chasing that shit. Don't stop.
No,
I mean,
my quarter life crisis is already coming upon me. So
don't get rid of that bullshit. Right. So, Joypatrick, how did how did it all begin? Like, what happened? Like,
oof. Okay. So, yikes. This is going to be a very, very weird conversation.
okay, again, first, I think you should tell people what Joypatrick is about.
Okay.
Right? So they
True.
have skits. There's one.
Yeah.
They review memes.
Yes.
Right? What else do you do?
Okay.
They have like a backseat gaming thing as well.
Yes.
Where you watch them play games. See, I actually do my homework, man.
I'm
I actually
so
remember
proud of
there's
you.
a lot more, but because somebody didn't show up that day, so I kind of forgot like some of the
I am
stuff.
so sorry. I technically phone faked Yim
Yeah, man.
a couple of times. I'm sorry. But I'm here now.
Yeah, you're here now. So yeah, man. So all this stuff that you're doing with Joypatrick.
Okay,
So
so let me give you the down low, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so Joypatrick is basically a channel, and right now we've got 4 shows that run concurrently. The first one where we talk about memes is called Good Afternoon No One.
Yes.
And Good Afternoon No One is basically a entire premise of a talk show where we just talk about the things that we like. And the no one is very specific because we're talking to no one and we talk in a way that we don't expect anybody to listen to us. So whether that's meme reviews or folklore or local tales or even hot takes, that is what that particular show covers.
All right. Yeah. You guys do have a segment called Tempatan Tales as well.
We do also have Tempatan Tales. That's our pride and joy. That's the whole entire glory that carries Joypatrick. So Tempatan Tales it is in the name. It focuses on local tales.
It's a good name though.
Thank you.
It's a good name. Good job.
Thank you so much. I can't speak Malay for crap. I had to go back and check with Nabil. I was like, Churitala was taken already, and I was just like, oh no, Churitala is such a good name, but I can't take that, right?
Why not?
So, it's already been taken.
Oh, right.
Yeah, by Karim Razlan, who is a fantastic journalist. So we were sitting, we were just coming up with names and different ideas, and so Tempatan, which was local, and then Tales, we're just like, let's just go with it, and if it fails and flops, we'll change it. Who else is going to watch it besides us and a couple of close friends?
I mean, you'd be surprised, man. Sometimes the internet works in a very mysterious way.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
But again, so Tempatan Tales focuses on all of these local individuals, local heroes, or just people where, in this day and age when you're always thinking of I want to support local people, you're thinking of what's new or what's hype. But you technically, you sometimes you forget the makjiks and pakjiks at the side of the road. And those are the stories that we aim to tell.
Right.
Or, of course, that isn't indicative right now, but as we expand and grow and we try to grow our resources and our art reach, then that's how the subjects are going to change. So far, we've had Wheel of Skate. We've got Tintoy Chuo, who's one of the wayang kulit individuals.
I mean, you should totally talk to him.
Yeah.
Well, Nabil, you should talk to him. Yeah, because basically what you're doing with Tempatan Tales, I think dia macam merayau.
Sorry?
Like the wayang kulit semua tu macam merayau kan?
Masa tu
Borak-borak kan merayau?
magazine.
Yeah.
So we're covering the dying arts in Malaysia.
Absolutely. Yeah, the stuff that you did on the Wow Maker.
Yeah.
Especially as the Ironsmith. Yeah, I read that.
Yang tu kami guna dekat merayau ke borak-borak?
This one,
But when we go and see all this local punya,
the magazine.
no, we did also a video kan?
Yeah,
Borak-borak.
The video is for our promo for the magazine.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, those really short snippets. I love those. Each of those pieces. I remember seeing your magazine. I think it was Could I Run It? And then I saw those snippets in there. And that was well, I went to Nabil and I was like, well, we got to do something too. I want to be able to jump on that. Yeah.
Who's next for you guys?
So after Tintoy and then after Fertility, so on our Black, we are interviewing. We've got 3 other guests lined up. So that's Pit Stop Community Cafe, which is a soup kitchen located in KL.
Yeah.
And they focus primarily on food preservation as well as helping, your street clients.
Yep.
We've also got Zenderson's Store, who has also been a guest on Masses, right? Featured on Masses as well.
Store. Yeah.
Yeah, the retro gaming.
Oh, right.
It's a retro gaming store.
Lama sudah, eh.
Yes.
Like 2 years ago, I think we did that.
Yes. So Zen's actually a really close friend of mine. I have known him and his wife for what might be 12 years. So when I started out cosplay was when I first met Honey, who's the wife of Zen and the lady boss of Zenderson's Store. Last but not least, we've got Kahar Saidun, who is the Malay Wing Chun master. Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty interesting, man. How do you find that guy?
He's Tintoy's friend, actually. So we were speaking, we try to speak to all of our guests and we try to make them good friends, of the show, just of ourselves. So we can continue to follow up when there is a story, when there are new leads. So Tintoy was like, there's something really interesting here. I really want to support it. I have a friend, his name's Kahar. You should talk to him. And so we called out Kahar. He was totally down to talk to us. And we filmed him and his students. And it will also be a, wonderful dedication video to his late master that's passed away.
That's cool, man. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, that's good. Oh, that's good. Good job, man.
Thank you.
Shit. So, Joypatrick as a whole, what
Yes.
is essentially that you guys want to do? What is the one thing that you guys really want to do?
I think we just
besides-
want to be able to tell stories, to be a really strong storyteller. And that sounds so vague and super, super fucking facetious because everyone's just like, I want to be a storyteller. But we want to try to take it through a different form of lens. So, you always see it and it's always the genesis story, right? Like how I became famous, how I became this, how I became big for the scene to know me. And I've always thought that that's just so boring. Everybody's going to cover that. You'll get every single form of body of platform asking you those exact questions. But I want to get to the real crux of the human being.
Yep.
So for Black, when we spoke to him, it wasn't about how did he become an artist. It was about him being this boy from Gomba and, what was really true to his roots. For Tintoy, he's always being heralded as a wonderful master of re-engineering something old and dying.
Yep.
But we didn't want to focus on that kind of savior complex. And that was the entire angle that we took with him as well.
Yep.
For Kahar, everybody will say that he's the Malaysian or Malay Ip Man, but Ip Man practiced a particular type of Wing Chun.
Yep.
He and his line practice a different type of Wing Chun, which is the Yip King Wing Chun. So that's a story that we want to tell, and it's all about diversity. So different ways of how we want to skin the cat. That's ultimately what Joypatrick stands for.
Right.
And you've got the generics, you've got the plots, you've got the skits, you've got all the weird shit. But, when you culminate it, I think it's not just storytelling, but it's storytelling in a way that's just completely free, like a completely free form of creativity.
Right.
We don't pander to anyone but ourselves.
Right. So you're not planning to sell out?
I don't know. That's such a hard question to answer. Maybe we might. It depends if anybody wants to pay us, right? But I think until then, I would like to prevent selling out for as long as possible, even if the people that are watching are just 4 people. Because that means we get to preserve real stories, and that's what I would like to continue.
But it's a very tricky thing, though.
It is.
With
It
creating
is.
content, right?
It super is.
I mean, you can't be creating content and not have
Have
let's say
no
you do
one.
it full time, right? If you do it full time and you can't really rely on just people watching, and
Yes.
that won't help you sustain.
Absolutely,
Right,
I agree
so-
with that. So obviously I have a day job, and that's being a strategist at an advertising agency. So I'm selling out in my own other ways and everything else that I do. So this was kind of we want to keep it pure, and we want to
But
see where that
would
goes.
you see yourself, doing this full time?
That's the dream. I think being able to craft bigger stories and bigger plots and stuff, and even improve on our least favorite part, or our least favorite show, which is the Joy and Pat skit series, to improve on that and improve our acting chops. That would be nice too.
So, Joypatrick, how many of you guys are behind Joypatrick?
Okay, so primarily it's 2 of us. It's me and Nabil.
Yep.
But the people that have been carrying us for the majority, for at least the first season, has been our cameraman, Tengku Umar. So he's been helping us a lot. He is the most professional. He's the oldest of us 2, and he's the most professional. He's been giving us all the guidance and all the things that we really, really need. But for other stuff moving forward will be helped by Julian, or we call him Mac, Julian Mac Chu. Yeah. And so primarily what's always done is that we go to our friends, whoever is available, whoever has the capabilities to help us at the time. even if they don't, we're just like, do you want to help out? And it's primarily just me begging and crying. That's the recruitment drive.
Did she really cry though?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
But I totally do. Like, please help me. Crocodile tears.
So fake tears then.
Super fake tears.
Right.
But
I mean, they're gonna watch this, man. They're gonna know, dude.
my friends know I'm fake as shit. So
Right.
genuine for the most part.
So who comes up with the ideas? Like who brainstorms like all these like skits or your what to talk about next for your Good Afternoon No One, like stuff like that?
So we split the work up. It's usually split between me and Nabil, and then we just sit there and stare at each other for as long as possible. And we're like, okay, what's good? What do you think is relevant in this current point in time? What has been done yet? What hasn't been done yet? And it's just like, it'd be really funny if we did this skit because I watched this one video the other day. We should do something like our own take. And I'd be like, all right, we put up on the board. Then we debate, and not everything that goes into the little post-it boards make it through. So it's a half and half thing.
Right.
But sometimes I think if we're talking about like pre-production value, especially for Tempatan Tales, sometimes that would come from me, but it's split. So pre-production and planning would usually come from me, sometimes from the aid of Umar and Mac / Julian. But I think when it comes to all the technicalities and just knowing how to film, that's just, I leave that strictly to Nabil.
Right. So you're the tech guy lah. Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think without Nabil, half of the shit that we do would not run. It wouldn't run as well, and it would not run as smoothly. So I'm really grateful for the partner and for the team that checks in every once in a while. Like, oh, please help me, I'm dying. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
It's
So-
a good teamwork.
Also, just like I think Jeff mentioned something really cool, which is that you interned for Stanley.
Yeah. So Jeff, if you're watching this, I love you, man. Thank you for pimping me out, and thank you, Ian, for the opportunity, but also fuck you, buddy. But okay, yes, I interned with Stanley ages ago.
So what do you do? What do you do for him?
When I interned with Stan, it was a really, really awkward thing because I just thought that I was going to do like articles. I was just going to write for them.
Yep.
But upon the day that I started, my boss, that when I'm not like directly trying to work with Stan, the person that would directly report to her name's Yuka. So Ms. Yuka would always give me things like different comic books, and she'd be like, go through them, redline them, tell me your thoughts, edit them, tell me what needs to be changed. Here are some scripts that are being pitched to the company. Go through these scripts and tell me whether you think this is going to sit well with the channel or not. And you're giving this to I'm very blessed because they managed to trust like a 17 to 18-year-old. They're like, here's all the IPs that are coming into our company. Do us a favor, figure out what works and what doesn't.
Yep.
So different products that would be published under the Stanley or the POW Entertainment, brand household are things that I would have like vet through and gone through and then would have brought into discussions.
Yep.
Besides that, they were very trusting of me when it came to certain production things or certain production pieces. So certain episodes that they had at the POW Entertainment YouTube channel, I would vet through again, would be writing all the captions, would be labeling everything, marking everything, and queuing it for production, whether that's pre, post, or
So all this
publishing.
happened in.
When I was overseas in the States for college.
So where was that? Where was it that you interned with Sandy? Like where exactly?
Okay, so it was in sunny California. I was in Los Angeles. Yeah, I was there for 4.5 to 5 years of my life, and it's been a good time well spent. So beyond that, when I was just doing all of these weird different bits and pieces, I was also welcome to be on different red carpets and stuff like that. And those were always a trip. But I'm also working there as, a PA or like personal assistant, even production assistant for different shoots.
Yep.
And so I'd be running left, right, and center for anybody that just needed me to work.
So why did you end up being a strategist for an agency and not like, be
That's a really... So eventually, as time came by and I was working, I was actually focusing a lot of my time on the entertainment industry in LA.
Yeah.
That was where I was like, this is where I die. You take my ashes and you scatter it all across the Hollywood sign. But things didn't go as to plan, and I decided to actually come back home.
Right.
Yeah, to help my family out and be there for them when they needed me to be. It's not, I guess being an international student isn't the the most straightforward path, and sometimes you gotta make really tough decisions. So that was my toughest decision to come back.
Right. But I mean, okay, let's just talk about the contrast between
Sure.
LA and here.
Yes.
Right. So how different is it to do stuff like creative work here and working in LA?
You know, a lot of people, when I speak to them now, everyone's like, the perception that you get of LA is like, everyone's a sellout. Everyone's kind of plastic. Everyone's kind of fake. For me, it was a different experience altogether because I met very, very genuine people that have been and still are there for me to this day. So for me, I felt that being in LA and spending a lot of my formative years in a different country that was in Malaysia, it really kind of gave me the freedom to be whoever I wanted to be. There was no societal expectations. There was no like, this is what is considered a mold. Because I was moving around so much, there is literally zero mold. Because by the time they're just like, there's a mold here for you to fit into, I'm just like, bye, off to the next country, see you later.
Yep.
When I came back here, it was a little different because I think that, there was a booming YouTuber scene, there's a booming indie scene, booming underground scene, masses, and everybody would just come together. And by the time I came back, I was like, yeah, I didn't know any of this existed back then. Yep. But it set a different stage that I couldn't necessarily fit into, and I'm still trying to figure that part out.
Right.
So I'm taking my time to still figure bits and pieces of this place out. I've only been back for 3 years, so...
Oh, it's been 3 years.
It's only been 3 years.
It's pretty long, man.
I guess. But before I get to advertising and how different it is, I had a small little 5-month stint in video games where I actually worked on Gears of War 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was also a weird
It's a shit
trip.
game, though.
Oh, wow, really? Seriously?
I mean...
That's so... the disrespect. It's such a good game.
Well,
come on. There's a plot for this one. Come on. It carries after the 4th Gears game.
To be honest, I feel like Gears of War died after like the 3rd one.
Oh, that's so...
I mean...
Ooh. Not even for the nice guns that you get.
There's a lot of games today that I used to look forward to a lot of games. Right?
All right.
So like Anthem was disappointing. What else is disappointing? There's a lot of games that disappointed me last year. Yeah, Gears of War I mean, when I looked at the trailer, it looks promising, but after a while, I just like, I don't really get it, man.
The plot has extended from what you see in the previous Gears game.
But some games just die, man. That's what
I know they die, but give it a chance. Give it a chance, so at least you play it.
You like Gears of War?
Oh, straight up.
What? I always like you like it, lah. So you just like it, lah. Okay.
He can't. Unfortunately, he's like contractually obligated as a friend not to say anything shady about Gears.
I mean, let's be honest here, right?
Homewrecker.
Not being homewrecker. Just be honest here. Like, honestly, I just didn't think the game was that great.
Okay, fair.
I mean, it looked like it's repetitive. You get what I mean? Like,
I guess when you're a franchise game.
Yeah, you're doing the same thing from the start of the game to the end of the game.
True.
Right.
You're fighting locusts. You're fucking shit up.
Yeah.
There are cool guns.
Yeah.
There's one with a chainsaw.
I don't know, man. I feel like the controls is a bit fucked up, dude.
Oh.
Or maybe I just have a thing against like, it's third person, right? Actually,
Yeah.
Maybe I have a thing against third person things. I don't know, man.
Really?
But I feel like shooting games should never be third person. I feel like they should always
just be FPS.
Yeah, because
always.
It feels more immersive.
Okay.
Right? Because I'm controlling this dude, but I'm looking at him, his whole body. It doesn't feel like I'm in it. You get what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So then my question to you is, what's your favorite FPS game? And then people can call you out in the comments.
Oh, shit, man. I actually don't know. Favorite FPS game. Shit, what have I played? I played Call of Duty recently. Well, that's not my favorite, though. Favorite FPS game?
Of all time. You can even say like Overwatch, Apex, anything.
Man, it's definitely not Apex, definitely not Overwatch.
Really?
Fuck, I can't remember what I really enjoyed playing. Well, I really enjoyed Modern Warfare, with the old one.
Okay.
I think it was the second one. I can't remember. Before like Black Ops and shit that came out. That was
Borderlands, anything?
Nah, my Borderlands is okay.
What?
Oh, actually, recently,
Okay.
I played Outer Space.
Okay.
Oh, that shit's pretty good, man. Is it called Outer Space? Shit. Oh shit, I can't remember, man. Let me just
Just gotta Google it like
Google
right
that
now.
Shit. Yeah, let me just Google that shit. I want to get this right because it's a pretty good game. It's by Obsidian. You know, guys?
Do you know that game?
Oh, it's called Outer Worlds. Sorry, Outer Worlds. Yeah, that game is dope, man.
Really?
Do you know the guys who Obsidian? You don't know the guy? They're like Pillars of Eternity. Wait, Disco Elysium is by them.
Okay.
That's a good game too.
Oh wow. I have not played.
Oh shit, man! You guys gotta fucking get into that shit, man. Fuck Gears of War, dude.
Okay. Oh wow.
No, like these guys, these guys who develop Outer Worlds.
I will call my old employers and I'll be like, y'all gotta dump the Gears IP, I guess.
I mean, like even Call of Duty for me, like at one point it just got really stale because it's just recycling shit and just like making it look nicer for like just updating the graphics.
True, but I
Yeah.
mean, for old time fans or for all time fans.
I mean, fair
you
enough.
know.
People still buy the games.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I think I've been like peddling Gears of War 5 to every single person that I know, and I'm just like, buy Gears of War 5, support the game. There are so many Malaysian studios that work on it.
I wouldn't even pirate that shit, dude.
Oh my god, that's painful. Come on, man.
I mean, it's a pretty game. It's a pretty game.
Thank
no
you.
lie.
There's
But
a lot of hard work that goes into making it
I mean,
pretty.
shout out to the guys who designed the game. It's good. It's good.
Shout out
just
to everybody at Lemon Sky.
You know, it's just not like my kind of thing, I guess.
Okay, fair.
Because
I can't
it's
judge
like
you.
as I get older,
All right.
I realize that I don't enjoy the games that I used to enjoy anymore.
Okay, what are the games that you don't enjoy as much?
I don't know, man. Like
Just turn the tables. I'm interviewing you now.
shit. I don't know, man. Like, but I try. Like recently, I've been playing a lot of old games.
Okay.
That's because like I don't really fuck with the new ones. Like, what's that game?
Suikoden?
No. This like last year they had a lot like this Dark Souls like games.
Yes,
right?
yes,
So you
yes.
have like Sekiro Dice Toys.
Sekiro.
And
Okay,
then there's
nice.
another one which is similar to Sekiro. Also the samurai thing, the samurai. I can't remember the name really. So
Okay.
it looked. When I looked at the trailer, I was like, "Ooh, fucking hype for this shit." But when
Right.
I actually played it, I was like, "Oh man, it's so." I mean, it's for me, it's underwhelming probably because I no longer enjoy like intense gaming.
Okay.
Right, I'm
okay.
probably like at the age where I'm like, I'm not that old, but it just doesn't feel the same anymore, you know? Like now I just play, RPGs like Fallout, where I can take my time. I'm just gonna chill
That's
a bit,
good.
Just I like the exploring aspect of games.
Are you gonna play like the best RPG of all time, which is Kingdom Hearts, the ones that will steal all our money, beat us up, make us buy every single one of their consoles?
I'm actually very disappointed with how. I mean, I'm not disappointed in the game. I'm disappointed in how gaming has evolved in the point where it's all about DLCs. So you get like, say, God of War was a fucking good game. First of all.
Okay.
It's a fucking amazing game, man. Like hands down game
That's
of the
true.
year.
I can't debate that. Yeah.
Like graphic wise, everything, mechanics is amazing, and
Storytelling wise, is
yeah, it's
beautiful
good.
plot,
But then
yeah.
you find like the game wasn't that long, and then that fucking round table where you can like jump into different planets. Motherfucker locked like 3, and then what? Like for me, I feel like motherfuckers baiting for DLC, which I think they will probably do that.
I mean,
Probably.
I guess, but I think DLCs, they work in the same way as just like to be continued by the next CD over. So,
Well, to be honest, what I think of DLCs is that it's a money making aspect.
well,
right?
yes,
Right,
it's
that's the
definitely
one.
a new way of making
Because you could
currency.
potentially just delay the game
True.
and just finish everything and then roll it out for a higher price.
Game developers got to make that coin.
I mean, yeah, but
I mean, if we're thinking of like what's a really good quote unquote DLC, Pokemon's just releasing a bunch of new stuff.
I mean, Pokemon's a sellout now, man. Shit. I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I mean, I'm glad they found a way to like extend the life of Pokemon, because I honestly thought it was gonna die like
It will never die.
after the second season. Like honestly, I thought after the second season it was gonna like.
So like
die down.
Johto after Johto.
Well, basically after Red, Fire, Yellow, and then there was like Sapphire and Ruby and shit like that. I think.
Okay,
Like
so the Hoenn
the
region.
Lugia era lah. That I thought that was like the last.
You thought that was the end.
Well, not the end. I just think that it was gonna slow down. Like Digimon died after like the OG shit. Like,
Digimon is still thriving though.
Is it really though?
Yes, there
I have
is.
not
There's a
heard
new
of it.
film that's coming out. I think it's like the final farewell, or I don't know. It's
Oh
called.
yeah. I heard about it.
Yeah.
I saw that.
I probably got that title all wrong.
No, but I get it. You're right. They're talking about it's probably the final like season of Digimon
For the first gen
bunch
of kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's like there's been six gens of kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 6 generations.
I can't keep up with that shit, man. But are they still using Ash now for the Pokemon shows? They are.
Yeah,
Right?
they are. Ash is eternally.
Yeah,
Maybe
he doesn't
he's like
age.
13. Maybe he's 14 now. We don't know.
I mean, I don't think he aged at all, man. It's the same.
I think there was a whole, there was an entire like Reddit thread where everybody was trying to figure out his age.
Yeah.
So the overall, why does it sound so nerdy? Oh yeah, because I'm a freaking nerd.
It's okay, man.
Just gotta own it, right?
Yeah.
But basically, they calculated all of the episodes and they tried to rationalize it. And he's only spent like a year and a half in terms of his travels
Yeah.
across all the different regions. So he's like, he started at 10, maybe he's 12 now, so he's not that old. He's doing okay.
I mean, it's underage, dude.
Yeah, but he's going on his childhood adventure. He's gonna be the very best, and nobody ever was.
I wish our parents understood then when we were watching Pokemon that they would let us out and like, randomly just get out of the house and not come home for a couple of days. Well, he's been away for years, man. And his mom is like, whatever the fuck, it's all good.
It's just like, it's all right. He's on his journey.
Then again, Japan is a very safe place as far as I understand. I don't think.
But then again, Ash is out of Japan though. He's like
he started off in Japan, right?
Yeah, the Kanto region's in Japan. So Gen 1's in Japan, Johto's in Japan, Hoen's in Japan. But when he starts going out into the rest of the seasons, he's like, he was in Hawaii the last season, and
really?
now he's like in England, which is where
Shit.
Sword and Shield is supposed to be based,
Right.
or like Ireland, or
she actually thought it through. Wow.
Yeah.
Have you played the new one?
No, I'm poor. I can't afford a Switch.
Come on. Then
Nintendo, could you hook me up? I'm joking.
Nah, the Nintendo Malaysia doesn't hook shit up, man. I don't think there's even a Nintendo Malaysia, to be honest.
I think there is.
No, because the consoles they sell is from Japan. True. They don't have like a region specific one. They sell us the Japan consoles.
That's true. We have a friend. His name's Kyo. So Kyo's Game Mart. So every time we have to figure out games, we just go to him and buy it from him directly.
Right. What was the last game you played? You used to go there first. Yeah.
Okay, the last game I played, oh my god, Kingdom Hearts 3. But I had to hijack a friend's console for it. So here's the funny part about me. I don't own any console.
Yeah.
Because currency is an issue. But I would buy all the games, crash my friends' places, and be like, hey, friend, get off your console. You're not touching it for days. I'm commandeering this vehicle. I'm the captain now. Get out. And they're just like, here you go. Have fun with it. I'm like, thanks. So Kingdom Hearts 3.
But it's not cheap to get a console. It's pretty cheap to get a console now, though.
I mean...
Because the prices are like...
True, if you wait
so
for it.
much, yeah.
Well, my friend, out of the kindness of his heart, I have a really good Samaritan story. One of my coworkers, Yasir, was like, hey, so I got a PS4 Pro, and my wife wants me to throw out like my PS4. Here's my PS4. And I was just like, I just cried profusely, and now I have a PS4, so now I can play all consoles and
What is the next game they're looking forward to?
I just really want to play Pokemon Sword and Shield, man.
Uh...
Dude, I'm so excited. It's open world. There's like the wild zone.
But it's always been open world.
It's kind of, but it's like mega open world. Now you can camp and
3D,
cook.
right? It's like a
right?
Yeah.
And now you can customize your characters every way till Sunday. Listen, I need that game in my life. Right. But beyond that, I would be looking forward to No More Heroes for Nintendo Switch.
No More Heroes.
Yeah, so it's a really, really good game. It's by one of my favorite game directors / developers, Goichi Suda, or Suda51. Right. And when I first got the Wii when I was a kid, No More Heroes was the first game I bought. And I don't remember how old I was. I was like 14, 15 maybe. And it was like super hyper violent, super sexual and everything. And I just looked at my mom and I was like, can I have this game? There's a dude with a leather jacket with a lightsaber on it. And my mom's just like...
What is the lightsaber?
It's
a lightsaber or like...
It's...
the...
No.
Right. I mean, we call it lightsabers too, so...
Nobody calls it a lightsaber. No, well, maybe for you.
Guys do.
Jesus Christ. His weapon's a lightsaber, and that's exactly, yeah. And it's about assassins and stuff, and it was stylistically really fucking amazing. And I was just hooked ever since, and my parents just had to like, we can't put child lock on it. You played Resident Evil 4 when you're like 12 or 13. We don't care anymore. Just do whatever you want.
I mean, I think well, to be honest, my parents didn't give a shit back then.
Yeah.
Like, we were playing like all sorts of shit and they just didn't really care. Because they don't know per se, and to them it's just like, you're just gonna grow up and eventually see this shit anyway. So
my dad was like, he would watch horror movies when I was growing up. So I'm like 3 and 4 years old or whatever. And I'd be sleeping on the couch and my dad would just sit there, be watching The Exorcist or like the Saw franchise. I wake up, I see someone being like decapitated in front of my very eyes. I just break into like tears and my mom's just like, what the hell happened? And my dad's just like, I don't know. It's like screaming people on the TV. And my mom's like...
But that is true though. Like when dad used to watch like... I fucking can't remember, man. Like...
Terrible television?
It was a movie... Like the movies was big. Like the movie was big. It's an alien movie. It is called Martian or something like that. Or like...
Okay.
There's something aliens invading Earth. Like, I can't remember the name. It was pretty fucked up, man. Like, I actually get nightmares from that shit. Because I was really young then.
Yeah.
And it was like first time watching like a... I wasn't even watching. I just happened to be there. I was watching it. And it was like... fucking traumatizing.
Yeah. It's always super traumatizing, but I guess that trauma has led me to become a huge, like, scary movie buff and just liking scary and creepy shit.
Right. Also, right, about Gears of War.
Yes.
So I remember now,
Okay.
Why I was never. Well, I never gave the game a chance. That's one thing I should clarify first. But.
Okay.
So Gears of War 4 came out, and I remember it was a Microsoft exclusive or Windows exclusive, right?
Okay.
So you only can get it from the Microsoft Store.
Okay.
So at that time, Windows security was like super smart. I don't know how they know that. I don't remember why they didn't let me get the game.
Okay.
I actually tried to buy the game.
All right.
But it just
Payment
didn't let-
options?
I don't know why I can't buy the game. I think because like either my operating system was fake at that time because I was a student. So just to clarify, now I'm using
Super legit stuff.
sure, but like so then I couldn't get a game. So I was like, oh fuck. I was excited for it because it was like for me it was like oh shit, it was like a new game finally, like some new fucking shit. But anyway, I couldn't get a game, so I got pissed off and I was like, man, these motherfuckers are like. It wasn't cool lah. So then they came out with another game, which was like this tiny ass robot. Do you remember that shit?
No,
It's like
I
a
don't.
robot that follows you around. That you can customize the robot to be something. I can't remember what it was, but it was a pretty cool looking game.
Okay.
But it's also a Windows exclusive.
Okay.
It came out at the same time as Gears of War 4.
Shit, I'm gonna have to go back and
Yeah,
do
but,
my
but it's a really cute robot where it follows you around and do.
little cute things.
Nah, man, it's like a pretty interesting game. I just can't remember what the fuck the name was. I actually can't think of it. I can't remember what it was, but it was a pretty good looking game. I was really looking forward to that. So that didn't happen as well. So like, you know what? I'm just gonna fuck Windows Phone now. I was like, nah,
You're just like screw Microsoft, forget it, never
yeah,
again.
because it's so tedious. Because people can't pirate that shit at the time. I think because people weren't that like the hackers weren't that great yet. But now they can pirate everything. Like, now Gears of War 5 is on. I mean, if you want to pirate that shit, I'm not trying to like advocate piracy, but
Please buy the game.
yeah, buy the game. Buy the games. Don't pirate stuff, guys. Buy the
There's
games.
so many studios to require that
I mean,
money.
it's not gonna get into trouble, right? Like, I'm just gonna clarify. I'm not downloading games illegally. Like, I'm paying them full price from Steam.
You could literally just freeze frame and then like put your disclaimer and then like continue with the rest of your podcast.
I buy my games. Just saying. So yeah, man. So I'm a very big fan of games.
Yeah, I can tell.
But I will say that games back then, in terms of storytelling, they're like way better than today.
Of course.
Personally, is how I
storytelling.
feel. Yeah, because
Yeah.
even the Final Fantasies that came out like 15, it was like, ooh, fucking hype. But when I played it, I was like, man, motherfucker, is like a disappointing. I waited fucking long for the game, man.
Okay, that's fair because I waited for it just.
Even Kingdom Hearts 3, I must call you out for now.
Oh my god!
No, for real. Like, the first one was fucking, hands down, the best shit ever. Like,
Of course.
The game was great. Second one was good.
Yep.
Third one is like, I don't know if I got older
Okay.
or the game just seems a bit more not difficult. Like, it just doesn't seem as fun.
It seemed
The combat system,
quite quick.
The combat system is like, I mean, it's cool that you add stuff where you can like bounce off walls and shit like that. But
I
it's
mean,
like,
don't you want to ride Magic Mountain, the roller coaster, and then
yeah,
slap
sure,
a couple of balls?
Sure, it's cool, but I feel like the game mechanics it changed with like as it evolved.
I guess there were a lot of issues I think that they were speaking about that happened in development. So, certain
Yeah, the game
things
took
went-
quite a while as well, right?
It took so long. We waited like what, 13, 14 years?
Nah, was it that long?
Yeah.
Shit.
Since Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh, I played Kingdom Hearts 2 when I was in high school. Oh, it's quite long.
Yeah, it's been a long while.
Yeah, I mean, but the hype didn't live up to the hype, lah. Like,
Really?
Yeah, for me, I mean, it's a good game. Don't get me wrong. I played the game. It's good,
Okay.
but
Can't attack you over the table just yet and be like, why don't you like Kingdom Hearts 3?
I mean, it's not that low. Like, I like the story. Like, I like how you implement like how the newer generation of Disney movies into the game.
Yeah.
But for me, it wasn't the game. It wasn't the game. The story that's the problem. It's the gameplay that's the problem.
Okay.
Right? I
okay,
used to
understand where you're
no, because I played King. I thought it was because I'm old. Duh. So that I don't enjoy it anymore. So then I played the old ones, and I was like, oh shit, I still find it fun. So I don't know why I don't find it as fun. Like, I wouldn't. I usually, if I like the game a lot, I'll sit down and I'll like run through the game until I finish it. Basically, I won't go out. I'll just like camp on my computer or like my PlayStation and just like, play that shit.
And
the
just
whole
play
day.
the video games.
Yeah.
just
But
do
for that,
all
it's like I sit half a day. I'm like, I don't know, man. No, I feel about it, man. So I'm like, I think I played halfway through, then my PS4 just died out. Like, just gave out. Like, yeah. Maybe
Oh, no,
it
that's so
realized
sad.
the game wasn't like. I was like, fuck.
No, it was, for what it was worth, it was a great conclusion. And
Is it the conclusion of the?
oh no, it's not.
right? Yeah,
it's not. So I think it was, I don't know which interview it was, but Tetsuya Nomura was really like, Kingdom Hearts 3 is the end to a first part of a trilogy of games. So technically, if we want to do math, that would be 9 games in total.
Yeah.
So we're stuck in this horrible pit of despair I will be until this entire franchise is over.
So what are your thoughts on people remaking games?
Remaking games?
Yeah, like remakes of the old games. You know, like how they're doing like, you know, Final Fantasy 7. They're
Oh,
gonna, like,
remasters?
Not remaster, like remake, like a completely different look of the game. Like,
okay.
because
Well,
like Final Fantasy 7, they're like doing what
Yes.
Final Fantasy 15 is doing. So they're gonna implement that onto 7. So,
Yes, so
you know, what do you think of stuff like
change in gameplay and everything. I think it's fine. Like, honestly, it's got to evolve with the times and taking, you know, really precious IPs and rehashing it for a newer generation. I think that's great. So people aren't just going to look at, you know, what we used to look at when we played Final Fantasy 7. It's created for a new type of consumer. And, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing Cloud in the dress in HD.
In a dress?
Yeah, he was in a dress in Final Fantasy 7.
No, he was not.
Yeah.
Oh, in that one scene, he's in a dress. Like,
In
only
that-
that one scene.
Yeah, but that's like a fan favorite scene. And I think every other fangirl is just like, yeah, everybody's waiting to see some of the.
And then you guys gonna have to watch Arif die again. Yeah, so it's gonna have to watch.
Spoiler to anybody that's just like, this is the first time I've ever touched this game. It's like,
I'm pretty sure
fucking dies.
most gamers have played that game though.
I think so, but I mean for the new people that are coming in. But yeah, you're gonna have to suffer through all the pain.
I don't mind though. In like a better graphic, sure, man. Fuck.
Just to see,
mind, man.
just to see her get stabbed.
Like honestly, Advent Children really paved a lot of ways for the way game looks now.
Yes,
Because
it
that
did.
time you kind of like imagine it. It's like, oh shit, you can actually like make it look this good. And
Yeah.
to be honest, at that time when Advent Children came out, it was really like mid 2007, 8, I guess.
yeah, really early.
And I didn't expect like, you know, graphics to look that great.
Yeah, so CG back then, you
Yeah,
know,
man.
it really upgraded during the time, and then it hit that real boon, and then every single studio,
Yeah.
from the point of what Square Enix did, just kind of like pulled together. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
it's phenomenal to see how the industry, or especially the gaming industry, has continuously grown and improved. You would just, you know, a lot of us would just like to hope that as the games improve, the ways that, you know, gamers are, or the ways that the industries are, would improve in terms of being better to developers, being better to female developers, stuff like that would improve as well. Hopefully that goes with time.
Yep.
Yeah, no shade.
So you don't own it. I mean, now you have a PlayStation.
Yes.
Right? But you haven't played any games recently, right?
No, I haven't even set up my PSN ID. Jeff, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I owe you my PSN ID.
Which Jeff? Like our Jeff.
Jeff, yeah, or Jeff.
What?
Yeah, because he was like, you finally have a PlayStation. What's your
Oh, right,
PSN
right.
ID? And I'm like,
That's how I met Jeff, by the way.
for PlayStation?
I met Brian, which is like my business partner, and yeah, so I was working with Joshua, so my other business partner, and then he introduced me to, because we all just got PlayStation at the time. All of us just somehow at that time that timing was great, like, so all of us got PlayStations.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so then we're like, oh shit, what are we gonna play? So we played Battlefield.
Okay.
Yeah, so we played Battlefield. I can't remember which one, like 2 years ago, like that Battlefield.
Insurmountable at that point.
Yeah,
but
yeah. So then we played a game. So I met Brian and Jeff on that same day. Yeah, through.
There we
gaming.
go. Beautiful
Yeah.
friendships forged through gaming.
No, honestly, I formed the greatest friendship through gaming. Like
Yeah?
even when I was in UK, I was there like for 3 years over, and I played Dota.
Yeah.
So I played with like the Europeans.
Yeah.
So from there we played casually. We met online. We really like played really well. So we're like, oh shit, let's just party together and just play together. So
Yeah.
then we played together. Like we played online tournaments together for like a year.
Oh, holy shit.
So we won,
Right.
and then we got some money.
What the?
So we actually used that money and we went to the French Alps for holiday.
That
so
is
that's Yeah, so that's the first
insane.
time where we met. So
What?
we went to like, cause one of the girls that played with us, she stays like, I think it's a family home in the Alps. So she
Okay.
said, oh, you guys just use the money we fly out here and you just go and hang out at the Alps.
What the?
So we all flew out there. It's the first time we met each other.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
It's crazy, man. It's fucking crazy. Because first of all, we're all strangers
Yeah.
and we're all from different parts of. Well, I'm from. At the time I was in UK. They were from like some was from Norway, some was from Sweden, some was from France. So it's like, so 5 of us met up together and yeah, man, it was like a.
Hung out. Yeah.
After that, we just went to like Dota tournaments in.
Yep.
We went to like is it a convention then? I don't think so, right? Like basically where all the big tournaments are held.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
DreamHack and shit like that. So
Yeah.
we go every year, and that's where we like meet again.
That's really
Yeah, man,
nice.
it's fucking cool, man. So we have a LAN party in the Alps. It was fucking cool, man. It was fun,
Oh,
dude.
That's actually really sweet. I think that's the beauty of a lot of like these scenes that are like seen in subculture, and they're not fringe anymore, like anime, video games, whatever.
Yeah.
They're not fringe. But the beautiful part that I find of it is the communities. In the communities, you'll always find ups and downs, drama here and there. But the people that come together, when they do come together, it really is a beautiful thing, because then you have, you know, other pieces that bring different walks of life together, and that's what's really cool. Yeah.
So what are the subcultures beside like anime, comics, games? What other subculture are you into?
I don't think there's any way that I can hide that I'm a huge fucking weeb, but I'm a huge fucking weeb.
We're
a
like
huge
50
fucking
minutes
nerd.
in and you say that now. It's a bit too late for that, man.
You're like, hey, so I'm a huge fucking weeb. No, I mean, to me, what other subcultures? I think these are the ones that are the most prominent for now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think these are the ones that really, really shaped who I am and how I have a perspective on the world. That's why Joypatrick is made, because of those big scenes that I was in when I was like a kid until now, my very formative years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether you could say like the internet is a subculture because it's so vast.
It is a subculture.
I guess it is, but it's.
I mean, I won't say the internet. Maybe
there
like
are different levels in it.
specifically, like maybe like Reddit is a subculture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, way back when I was like 11 or 12 years old and should not have been on the internet, completely like, yes, I am 13 years old. I used to be, this is really cringy, but I used to be on this site called DeviantArt, and I used to draw a lot.
Yeah.
Like, my biggest aspiration was be an artist, a comic book artist, and an animator back then. Things have changed, but the passion and the love behind it still hasn't. But the people I got to meet during those times, and if anybody that was, on like Neopets or like Gaia Online.
Oh shit, Neopets, man.
Yeah, fuck
hell, shit.
No, my Neopets are dead. They're RIP, guys. I never fed you, never logged in to check. But like Live Journal and just stuff like that, there was a great artist community. Now, any artist that's worth their weight would look back and be like, ugh.
But DeviantArt is still around, right? I mean, maybe not just as big anymore, but I'm pretty sure they're still around.
I mean, it was still, it was really popping back then, but I don't think any of us would return back to DeviantArt. I don't think so.
I think I've seen like some graphic designers who still use DeviantArt as their.
I guess, but like there was a huge scene where there would be people doing like art tournaments and stuff, and it was just it was a funny get together of people because you would draw like your own original. This sounds so cringy now, but I'll persist with the story. You would draw your own original characters. You would enter them in competitions, and you would draw comics of where you would battle other people. And that's kind of like where you would build a lot of like the strong friendships. Mm-hmm. So some of the people that I've gotten to know in the States are people that I've known, for years off of DeviantArt. And then, you move and it's like on Tumblr, and then you meet other people and you can forge really great friendships. So maybe the artsy side of the internet.
So, and I also
There's the
realized
movie
that
side.
Malaysians don't really go on Reddit, which is quite disappointing, man. Reddit is a fucking gold mine, dude. I think everyone should be on that shit because I think you can educate yourself a lot more on
It's a much safer place as compared to things like 4chan.
Yeah, I mean, 4chan is definitely not safe.
Yeah,
at all.
nobody
It's not
should
safe.
ever go there.
Yeah, it's a pretty fucking dark place, man. I mean, it can get really funny, but it also can get really dark.
Just one wrong click and you gotta wipe
But I mean,
your entire history.
Reddit has its dark side too. I mean, you just gotta. I'm pretty sure there is, man.
Okay, what's the weirdest Reddit thread you have ever been on?
Weirdest? I don't think it's been weird for me because I've never really ventured too far to places where I shouldn't be in.
You just know how to be like, nope.
I mean, because I like to read stuff like, No Sleep is fun.
Yes, No Sleep's really fucking great. Yeah.
So then from there, like I started with No Sleep, then I end up in the Three Kings, which is like,
yeah,
it just get weirder and weirder. So I was like, Then I started looking up at like
all the weird occult
rituals,
and lore
rituals
shit.
and shit. I was like, whoa, motherfucker, that shit is like dark, man.
That is, I would always read about it, and I'm just like, these are things I would never do. There were always these urban legends of like ghosts that you would see on like a railway station. If you see it, you'd summon it.
Yeah.
Or like the Hey Charlie, Let's Play or whatever.
Okay.
Or the Hey Charlie, Let's Play or whatever.
Oh yeah, the Hey Charlie thing, the pencil.
That is.
I don't know, man. To be honest, I don't know those shit are real or not. Sometimes I would love to try to debunk it, but at the same time, I don't want to have a demon hanging around.
That is exactly right. I'm just like, I'm not white enough for this shit.
Yeah.
I
Because
can't.
honestly, when you read about people sharing their experiences trying out the rituals, right, you be like, I don't know, man. I mean,
stand in front of a mirror.
I don't know
say
if I
Bloody
want.
Mary.
No, but the thing is, like, a lot of the people on No Sleep, they're really good writers.
That's
number
they're
one.
fantastic writers. That's the best
I
part.
can tell you, like, I think maybe 70% of it is not true because they're just really good storytellers.
Of course.
Whereas with the Three Kings stuff, like, I don't really know if you're like storytellers or like you guys are just fucking with me because some of them really go fucking deep, man. And at one point, like, you see some threads where people are like, oh shit, so nothing happened. So then they're like,
Yes.
I'll keep this updated.
Yeah.
Then the next day, they'll be like, oh shit, something happened in my house. So like, motherfuckers, like, why would you
There
update
is-
the forum? The first thing, if something happens, is get the fuck out and call the cops, man. Like,
Right, of course. There's always those really like terrifying things. I think there was this one streamer. Nabil, do you remember this? The one streamer that he was streaming halfway and then like the doors closed behind him. He got totally freaked out. That was real, right?
I don't know. I never like.
That was never debunked. But yeah, there's a lot of weird shit on the internet.
Have you seen the dark web stuff?
Like been on the dark web?
Well, I mean, have you? No.
Yes, I am on the dark web.
Wait. Like, are you on it now?
Like yeah, like on the Tor client and everything.
Wait, so you are still lurking on the dark web
Yeah,
today?
yeah.
Why?
Okay, so the
What,
dark.
what are you gonna get? You gonna get drugs and shit?
Okay, no, that's what everybody would like think when you think of the dark web. But it's not just like drugs and very horrible things. The fact of the dark web is that there are a lot of there's a lot of journalistic integrity on there as well. There's a
Right,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
whistleblowers and
Yep, yep,
stuff.
yep.
You know, New York Post has their own as well. So I'm on the dark web to read those bits and pieces. Those are interesting to me. Just kind of like being a nerd, liking all.
I mean,
of
it's
these
basically
yeah.
WikiLeaks lah, right? WikiLeaks is
Yes, it's basically wiki.
yeah,
Kind of,
WikiLeaks,
yeah.
But the dark web is scary, man.
The dark web is a really terrifying place, but I mean, you get to see what happens when it's really just unhinged freedom, and that comes with a lot of consequences. Because with a lot of freedom, people can get hurt, right? You see, like
Red Room.
all the horrible things that are on one side, but then there's also incredibly liberating things where whistleblowers or people who are trying to uncover the real truth,
Yep.
and as consequently, like combat all these bad parts of the dark web. That's what's interesting to me to look at. No, I'm not buying drugs.
I mean, because the last
I'm
time
just gonna say it right now.
At one point, we were like, I mean, there's me and this other guy that works here, so we were like, pretty obsessed with the dark web at one point.
Yes.
So we're just looking at shit on YouTube and shit like people buying like mystery boxes from the dark web.
Yes.
So the shit that comes with it is pretty fucked up. You have
Yeah.
like a bloody knife, a camcorder with a memory card in it.
Yeah.
And people like just pluck it out and just use the memory card and see what the fuck's inside.
Yeah.
And you have like, people getting shot or like just really fucked up shit.
There's really, really bad stuff on that side of the internet. But as the internet continues to have more censorship over it, somehow I feel like more people would convert towards the dark web because
That
there
is
is
true.
a allowance for a freedom of conversation.
But it is illegal though, to access the dark web, right? As I understand, I think it's illegal.
I've been telling myself that it's not because the New York Post is there. I'd be like, I'm reading the news. Nothing can go wrong there. I could totally be wrong. And I could have just totally outed myself.
I mean,
and be
people are
arrested.
posting shit on YouTube, so I don't think it's that bad, right? So
I guess there are limitations. Like, don't go to the marketplace of the dark web and do horrible things there.
the first place that I'll visit is probably the marketplace, man, just to see what the fuck they're selling. I mean, would you be curious, like what the fuck they sell there? I'll be fucking curious, man. Like,
I straight up went. I was just like, where do I find all the
Simple.
journalistic pieces?
oh, that's not the first thing I think about when I think about dark web.
Great.
Like for me, the dark web is viewed as a place that is like just generally dangerous, I guess.
It's generally But
Because
I
if
mean,
you get into places where you shouldn't be in, people can actually, I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do to you, but I know
they
they
could
do
hack
stuff to
you, yeah.
They could hack you, they could come to your house and fuck you up. I don't know, man, but
They could swat you, stuff like that.
yeah, it's pretty fucking scary, dude. Yeah, but yeah, man, interesting. I haven't seen the dark web in person.
Really?
I would love to though.
It's just downloading a single client. and
Yeah,
then
but
you
I'm gonna
find-
have to pay for VPN, dude. I don't want to fucking pay for VPN, man.
Just pay for VPN.
shit.
That's what everybody used back then when we couldn't
But the
access
thing about
Netflix.
the thing about VPN is like, what is there that the internet don't already know about you? You get what I mean? When your information is on Facebook, your information is on Instagram.
Yeah,
There's even if you use a VPN, who the fuck's not gonna know it's you?
pretty much.
They just can't track where you are, but they still gonna know who you are. You get what I
they're
mean?
they're kind of gonna be able to trace, or at least build an image of who you are. And
Have you-
the
there's
big point
this-
of big data. Yeah.
Well, I think at one point I was quite scared of the social media shit because
Okay.
I
So
watched-
like Cambridge Analytica, all that stuff that was going
like,
on.
you saw the Netflix documentary,
Yes,
the Great
yes.
Hack or something like that. Oh, that shit is good, man. Like, really, everybody should watch that shit. Like, they will really open your eyes on what the fuck you're putting up on the internet, and
Yeah.
like
Basically, every single footprint that you
Yeah,
have,
yeah.
For anybody that works like in advertising or in agency life, if you have a team that knows how to do like back end data or know how to like do Sierra, whatever, the super, super really like
no, like the
agency
the
stuff,
greatest
but yeah.
misunderstanding with when people say like, oh, is my phone listening to me, right?
Yeah, but again,
Like,
it is, isn't it?
but from what I understand is I don't think they're listening to you.
No.
They're actually analyzing your behavior. So they study your behavior based on
Yes.
your searches, what you do, and
Yeah, your
your
footprints.
behavior on Facebook,
Yeah.
right? So
We call it consumer journey, but I mean,
yeah,
like, really, it is, you know.
Yeah. So a lot of people say like, oh shit, it's because my microphone is on, that's why they can hear me. Whenever I talk about, like I say, I talk about Barbie doll, and then all of a sudden it just appears.
Siri hears you everywhere you go.
But it's not that, it's not so much of that. Actually, it goes. It's actually smarter than them listening to you. They actually just predict your behavior based on.
Yeah,
the
it's
way
quite
you stuff to you.
self-predictive. That's
Yeah,
the
so
thing.
it's scary in a way because if it's not them listening to you, then it's pretty fucking scary, man. Because you know,
Big Brother's watching one way or another.
I mean, I'm pretty sure.
Are you ever bothered with like your information being leaked or whatever? Or having like, a public image and, having that public image just kind of like scattered everywhere? Does it even matter to you?
At this point, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, no, I get you.
At this point, I mean, I used to care. At one point when I watched the documentary, I was like, oh shit, I probably should post less things about myself on the internet.
Yeah.
And probably like just delete whatever else that I don't use. But then I realized like, well, my work is like this.
Yeah, your work kind of
Yeah.
requires it.
Yeah,
but
so-
I would be guessing that you put like your own persona over who you are as a real person in your private
Yeah,
life.
which is why I don't really, share like
Everything.
everything. Like
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
like personal life, I don't really do. My work stuff or like stuff that's related to my work, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Discretion, I
Yeah.
guess, is
Yeah, yeah,
necessary.
yeah. Because man, it's fucking scary, dude. Like the shit that happens on the internet nowadays. People can find out about everything about you.
Well, on that note, then I have to ask you, like, for you guys work primarily with influencers and all these different things, like, where do you think is the merge of authenticity or, I figured I'd just ask you.
Well, to be honest, with influencers
Or do
now,
you think everybody is just going to get punted with having all of their, like, identities online? I'm looking at it that way, not calling people out for
well,
not being
to be honest,
authentic.
like if you ask me if the influencers are really who they are, I would say no. Because a lot of them that I've met, who they are on the internet and who they are in real life, they're very different people.
Yeah, I guess, because you develop a
Yeah.
persona and a stage
Yeah.
presence, yeah.
So for me, like I don't think I have a lot of problem with influencers. My biggest problem with influencers is mainly because you're getting paid.
Okay.
You have to be professional.
Yeah.
That's number one.
Right.
You have to do a fucking good job. So it's like you hiring an agency to do work. You can't expect the agency to do half-ass work, right?
Yes.
So it's the same. You are an agency marketing yourself. So you
Right.
should be able to, have some sort of like level of quality with your work. But a lot of people that have worked with it, I'm not gonna say any names,
Oh, dear.
but some of them are questionable,
Hot takes.
Yeah, some of them are really questionable, and some of them. Okay, I'm just not gonna say anything. Like I'm not gonna go deep with this because this might get a bit out of hand. So we have influencers where they are good-looking people, right?
Okay.
So the good-looking ones, for example,
Right.
let's say the only talent they have is beauty,
Okay.
right? So what they're gonna do is they show a lot of skin, and then they get famous.
Okay.
So for me, props to you for knowing how to market yourself in a way, but as an influencer, you have to be able to educate your people with certain things, not create even more females or guys who are topless. You get
I
what I mean?
guess, but I guess they're building into a different way, and that's your hustle, right?
I guess it is, but the thing is, like, influencers don't understand that they have a lot of power in their hands. They don't understand that they actually influence a lot of people in many ways.
True.
Like for me, okay, let's take Brian for example. He's a sneaker influencer, right?
Okay.
Well, he don't claim himself to be an influencer, but he actually influences people.
Yeah.
The clothes that he wear, the
Yeah.
shoes that he buy, people actually take into account what he thinks. So he's actually very good at keeping himself like he's not trying to be a nice guy. He is a nice guy.
Yeah.
So for me, I respect that. There's not a lot of people nowadays who are actually like that. Being the same persona you are in real life and on internet.
Yeah, there's no like real connection
Yeah.
towards it. True.
Whereas there's a lot of those guys who are like, especially recently a lot of the big influencers, they are like marketing to people how you can get rich quick.
Right.
I'm going to give you guys a heads up now. This is real life, right? There's nothing in this world is free. Nothing in this world is fast. Everything comes down to the hustle. There is no such thing as free money. There is no such thing as shortcuts. You just
Everything has its
you just gotta
limitation.
fucking hustle, And when I see influencers selling like, oh, I got this gold chain and I got this phone and all this stuff for like this price, like, you can get it too, contact this person, you find out how. Like shit like that. Don't really. I mean, you're a famous guy. You get a lot of people are listening to you, and it's for me, it's like not the way to go, lah.
Right. I guess the way that information is disseminated across different influencers is really important. Yeah, and they have to know their power.
Information is probably like one of the most expensive commodity now. Data, information, all this stuff is fucking important, and the news is already misleading. Right. We cannot have even more misleading shit on the internet.
Do you think influencers in some way can craft like public opinion, public policy, stuff that should go to routes of activism, greater understanding, intersectionality? Do you think that it lies on their shoulders to educate consumers and their audiences?
To be honest, everybody has a responsibility. Like even myself as an individual who is not, let's say I'm not nobody.
Yeah,
right? But
of course
you meet people every day.
Yeah,
and it's good that if everyone, the problem in Malaysia is I feel like the biggest problem is information,
right,
and education. Right, people are generally not well informed enough with a lot of things. I mean, granted, we think that with the internet we will get a better understanding of things, but people are also abusing the internet with fake news, with like random ass shit, and it's bad,
very fractured. Yeah, information is extremely fractured when it comes down to it. Yeah.
So I mean, I do respect some influencers. Not to say I don't, but it's just that a lot of people wants to go down this road for the wrong reasons. If you want to be famous just for the sake of being famous, then I would suggest that you don't be famous, because what are you gonna, as an influencer, the word influencer is big lah,
True. They're
you should be influencing something.
They should be influential one way or another. Yes.
You can't be an influential leader without any sort of thing backing you as an influential leader, right? So if you're gonna, I mean, sure, your beauty,
but perhaps that could be like their charisma, their beauty, whatever it is. That's one pull as well. So.
But the thing is, I don't know.
It works.
It's hard to tell who's honest and who's not. Like if this girl comes to me and tell me like, oh, I am a model, but at the same time I advocate, let's say like, I don't believe in animal cruelty, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm like, yeah, okay, I respect that, but are you actively out there helping animals, or are you just saying that because you try to?
But it could be the conversations that you could be having as well. That could be important too.
What do you mean, like with them?
Like raising, no, with people, in terms of raising awareness and bits and pieces like that. So of course, there's always this kind of idea: what is activism, what is slacktivism? But for certain influencers who can maintain that balance, and as long as you're having those conversations, it could be a good thing. Oh no,
I don't know, man. But if you ask me today, the state of influencers, I guess it
might evolve.
I've seen a slowdown in that whole scale of things. Some people are actually not be able to support themselves anymore, because I think brands are getting smarter. First of all, agencies are also getting smarter.
True.
Because I mean, now people are weeding out who is good and who's not, and it's really easy to tell.
Yeah.
Because I mean, for example, you have tools like Social Blade to tell you like who's legit and who's not.
Yeah.
And honestly, a lot of you motherfuckers buy followers. I'm gonna tell you right now. A lot of I mean, you got 1 million followers, you can't get 1,000 likes. It's fucking questionable, man. What happened to the other fucking 999,000?
I completely derailed this.
In a nutshell, for me, I think influencers are. I mean, you can do a lot of great things, lah.
Yeah.
I think I've said this before with Jeff. I think I said it's the same thing as well. I think he agrees as well. If you're gonna do, I mean, the internet is very gullible. People are gullible. The internet is gullible. People should. I mean, it's also down to the user to also educate themselves on what they should believe in and what they shouldn't.
Of course.
But at the same time,
people gotta look for their own information as well.
Yeah, because media outlets, let's say the Star. I mean, obviously you're a fraud. Star. I mean, it used to be like, I don't know about now, new government, I don't know if you say or not lah, but you guys used to spread shit for the previous government. So, and people believe in that shit. So, it's really down to everyone to really educate themselves and to be, I guess, to have integrity lah in your work.
I think it's also important, really to look at the stuff that you're consuming, or whether there's a diversity in what you're consuming, or is it just a confirmation bias that you're building. When you're able to question yourself and reach outside the box, do different things, look at different things, and not just be a particular niche.
Yeah.
To just bring it back home, like talking about anime or video games or comic books or whatever, there's a very diverse view in the stories that are being told and the experiences that are being shared. So it's really important for anybody, influencers or the like, or whoever they will be, to have that kind of variety. That's how you really, really grasp what it means to be human and craft really good stories, and obviously be well informed and not get duped by really bad media.
Yeah, man. Well, in that bombshell, we're gonna end this podcast. Unfortunately, we don't have time. Yeah, man. Anyway, thanks for coming,
Yeah,
Abigail.
of course.
Abigail Goh and Nabil,
Who's in the corner?
who's in the corner. Yeah. So, thank you so much for coming. I think I'm gonna get a lot of shit.
Thank you for
If
having
a
me.
lot of people listen to this towards the end, I'm gonna get a lot of shit.
Yeah,
lah.
you might.
Yeah, man, but it's okay, man. Life's all about taking shit and fertilizing that shit in your garden. Anyway, thanks for listening. Also, I don't think I have any other guests lined up for the next few podcasts. So if anybody knows anyone that's like pretty cool, you can just plug them down in the comment section. And thanks for listening. Peace out. I'm Yim, your host, and that is Abigail Goh. Please check them out. Oh, now you gotta plug all shit.
Oh shit. Okay. You can check us out at Joypatrick. That's Joypatrick, one word. On our Instagram and on our Twitter, it's also Joypatrick without an I, because you can't spell team with an I.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll plug all this in the caption, and you guys check them out. They're pretty good. They're kind of
Thank
like
you so much.
they're a growing channel, but you guys should check them out. Totally check them out.
All right.
Anyway, man. Peace out. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.